9 experienced hikers set out on a journey, but none of them returned alive. What really happened on that freezing night in the Ural Mountains? Their story has haunted investigators, scientists, and conspiracy theorists for over 6 decades. Was it a natural disaster, a government cover-up, or something far more sinister? The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. 9 hikers, all young and full of life, embarked on what should have been the adventure of a lifetime. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student, they aimed to conquer the snow-covered Ural Mountains in 1959. They were skilled, experienced, and well prepared for the brutal winter conditions. Yet, something went terribly wrong. Days later, when rescuers finally reached their campsite, they found a scene so chilling that it defied all logic. Their tent was slashed open from the inside. Footprints led away into the deep snow, barefoot. And then, the bodies, scattered across the mountainside, some with horrifying injuries. What could have possibly driven them to flee into the freezing wilderness without shoes, without jackets, and without a chance of survival? This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident. Igor Dyatlov and his team set off on their journey in late January 1959. They were all students or recent graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute, passionate about mountaineering and eager to test their limits. Their goal was to reach Otortan Mountain, a route classified as Category 3, the most difficult level of difficulty for such expeditions. Among them were engineers, athletes, and even a war veteran. They meticulously planned every detail, ensuring they had the best equipment, food supplies, and knowledge to handle any obstacle. But something happened along the way. On February 1st, they set up camp on a remote slope of Kholat Shakhl, a name that ominously translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. That night would be their last. When the hikers failed to send their expected telegram upon reaching their destination, their families grew concerned. A search party was launched, and on February 26th, their abandoned campsite was discovered. What the rescuers found was beyond disturbing. The tent, partially buried in snow, had been violently slashed open from the inside. It was as if the hikers had panicked and fled in terror. But why? There were no signs of struggle inside. All their belongings, clothes, food, boots remained untouched. Only footprints led away, deep into the snow, disappearing into the wilderness. Rescuers followed the tracks and soon found the first bodies. 2 hikers lay near a forested area, dressed only in their underclothes, with no signs of external wounds. It was as if they had simply collapsed from exposure. Then things became even stranger. The remaining bodies were discovered in scattered locations. Some had broken ribs and fractured skulls, injuries similar to those sustained in high-impact car crashes. One hiker was missing her tongue. Others showed signs of strange burns. Even more bizarrely, traces of radiation were detected on their clothing. What could have possibly caused such chaos? The Soviet authorities launched an investigation, but the official conclusion only deepened the mystery. The deaths were ruled as caused by an unknown compelling force. Some theorists believe an avalanche drove the hikers out of their tent. But why cut their way out instead of exiting normally? And why were there no signs of a major avalanche in the area? Another theory suggests high winds created an eerie infrasound phenomenon, inducing panic and hallucinations. Could nature itself have played tricks on their minds, driving them to their deaths? Then there's the possibility of a secret military test gone wrong. The Ural Mountains were known for classified Soviet experiments. Some reports claim glowing orbs were seen in the sky that night. Could the hikers have stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to see? Others point to indigenous Mansi tribes, but there's no evidence of hostility. And then of course there are the wild theories. Was it a Yeti, extraterrestrials, or something even more unexplainable? Despite decades of research, the case remains open-ended. In 2019, the Russian government reopened the investigation, concluding that an avalanche was the most likely cause. But skeptics argue that too many questions remain unanswered. Why did some bodies show no external injuries despite catastrophic internal trauma? Why was radiation found on their clothing? Why did the government seem so eager to close the case? Even today, new theories emerge, but no single explanation fits all the evidence. The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to baffle experts and intrigue those who seek the truth. The story of Dyatlov Pass is a chilling reminder that nature, human psychology, and the unknown can intersect in terrifying ways. What do you think happened on that fateful night? Was it just a tragic accident, or is there something more sinister at play? Let us know in the comments below.